Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the City Planning Commission public hearing. And Madam Secretary, please begin.
Good morning. This is the City Planning Commission public meeting held in Spector Hall, 22 Reade Street. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, 2014. As a courtesy during the proceedings, we ask that you please turn off all cell phones and beepers. All speakers should fill out a speaker's card at the desk outside of Spector Hall. In addition, we ask that those providing testimony please identify yourself, limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and speak clearly into the microphone. I will now call the roll. Chairman Weisbrod.
Here.
Vice Chair Knuckles. Here. Commissioner Battaglia.
Here.
Commissioner Bessa.
Here.
Commissioner Cantor. Here. Commissioner Cerullo. Here. Commissioner De La Use.
Here.
Commissioner Del Turo. Here. Commissioner Dweck.
Here.
Commissioner Eady.
Here.
Commissioner Levin.
Here.
Commissioner Marin.
Here.
A quorum is present. The first item is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of Wednesday, June 11, 2014.
On the minutes, all in favor?
Aye.
Wow. Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved.
Scheduling on calendar numbers 1 through 5, we have resolutions for adoption. Scheduling Wednesday, July 9, 2014 for a public hearing to be held in Spector Hall, 22 Reade Street.
On the resolutions to schedule the calendar numbers 1 through 5, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, the next part of the calendar is the report section on page 4. Borough of the Bronx, calendar number 6, CD4, C140231 PPX, in the matter of an application for the disposition of one city-owned property located at 1337 Jerome Avenue, for a favorable report as modified on calendar number 6. Chairman Weisbrod.
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa.
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor.
Yes.
Commissioner Cerullo.
Yes.
Commissioner De La Use.
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Eady.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin.
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
A favorable report as modified has been adopted on calendar number 6. Borough of Brooklyn, calendar number 7, CD 18, M770445D, ZMK, in the matter of an application for a modification to a restrictive declaration concerning the IHOP restaurant expansion. For a favorable report on calendar number 7, Chairman Weisbrod.
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa.
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor.
Yes.
Commissioner Cerullo.
Yes.
Commissioner De La Use.
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Eady.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin.
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
A favorable report has been adopted on calendar number 7. Borough of Brooklyn, calendar number 8, CD2, M030516A, MMK, in the matter of an application for an amendment to the city map concerning the downtown Brooklyn city map minor modification. For a favorable report on calendar number 8, Chairman Weisbrod.
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa.
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor. Commissioner Cerullo.
Yes.
Commissioner De La Use.
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Eady.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin.
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
A favorable report has been adopted on calendar number 8. Borough of Manhattan, calendar number 9, CDs 8 and 11, N140373HKM, in the matter of a communication concerning a landmark designation of the Park Avenue Historic District. On the adoption of calendar number 9 for referral to the City Council, Chairman Weisbrod.
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa.
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor.
Yes.
Commissioner Cerullo.
Yes.
Commissioner De La Use.
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Eady.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin.
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Calendar number 9 has been adopted. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 10, CD1, N140228, ZAR, in the matter of an application for the grant of an authorization concerning Brighton Avenue for adoption on calendar number 10. Chairman Weisbrod.
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa.
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor. Commissioner Cerullo.
Yes.
Commissioner De La Use.
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Eady.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin.
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Calendar number 10 has been adopted. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 11, CD2 N130399 ZCR, in the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 121 Circle Road. For adoption on calendar number 11, Chairman Weisbrod,
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles,
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia,
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa,
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor, Commissioner Cerullo, Commissioner De La Us,
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo,
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck,
Yes.
Commissioner Edie,
Yes.
Commissioner Levin,
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Calendar number 11 has been adopted. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 12, CD2 N140241 ZCR, in the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 24 Benedict Road. For adoption on calendar number 12, Chairman Weisbrod,
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles,
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia,
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa,
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor, Commissioner Cerullo, Commissioner De La Us,
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo,
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck,
Yes.
Commissioner Edie,
Yes.
Commissioner Levin,
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Calendar number 12 has been adopted. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 13, CD2 N140054 ZCR, in the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 246 Douglas Road. For adoption on calendar number 13, Chairman Weisbrod,
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles,
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia,
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa,
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor, Commissioner Cerullo, Commissioner De La Us,
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo,
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck,
Yes.
Commissioner Edie,
Yes.
Commissioner Levin,
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Calendar number 13 has been adopted. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 14, CD3 N140367 RCR, in the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 105 Petrus Avenue. For adoption on calendar number 14, Chairman Weisbrod,
Yes.
Vice Chair Knuckles,
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia,
Yes.
Commissioner Bessa,
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor, Commissioner Cerullo, Commissioner De La Us,
Yes.
Commissioner Del Turo,
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck,
Yes.
Commissioner Edie,
Yes.
Commissioner Levin,
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Calendar number 14 has been adopted. The next part of the calendar is the public hearing section on page 11. Borough of the Bronx, calendar number 15, CD4 C090189 MMX. A public hearing in the matter of an application for an amendment to the city map concerning Grant Avenue demapping and park mapping.
First speaker is Colleen Alderson from the Parks Department.
Hello, good morning, Chair Weisbrod, Vice Chair, and City Planning Commissioners. My name is Colleen Alderson. I'm the Director of Parklands for the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. I'm part of the Planning and Parklands Division. I'm here to represent the agency and advocate for the approval of this application that will demap a portion of Grant Avenue between 169th and 170th, and also map adjoining lots that have been assigned to the Parks Department since 1995. This park has been listed in the Community Board 4's district needs for many years, and we have, with the land that's already been assigned to us, we have developed a portion of the property. There's a bird sanctuary, there's an active play area, and there's also a passive area at the northeast. Happy to answer any questions you might have. Yes.
Any questions, Ms. Delauss?
Hi, how are you? Welcome back. This obviously seems like something that is a long time coming. And I'm just wondering if you can just talk us through what revenue might be available for capital expenses for any improvements and how ongoing maintenance is going to be handled.
Okay. We currently have $2 million in our capital budget to advance a master plan that was completed a few years ago in consultation with the community board. That money was allocated by the local council member. That will not allow us to achieve the entirety of the master plan remaining phases, but it will allow us to strive and complete a significant next phase. We are reassessing currently with our consultant and with this Grant Avenue being demapped, what we can achieve with that. There is talk about taking out the roadway, creating the pathway network to connect the playground area to the passive area. but we're currently revisiting what we could achieve to complete with the $2 million and then work towards completing the entirety of the park. In the master plan, there's envisioned to be a comfort station, an amphitheater, and also some additional active recreation, which would be handball and basketball courts, all much desired and needed facilities for the community. So we'll continue to work with the local electeds, the borough president, and the community board to complete this park.
And it'll be under park maintenance?
Yes,
day-to-day?
currently the existing portions are maintained by parks. The bird sanctuary is essentially a group of volunteers, and they manage that end, which is down in this area. And, you know, this park is already in our, you know, without the street, is already part of our inventory and we're responsible for. It's nearby other large parks, Claremont, Malali is a little bit to the southwest. So we have district operations force in this area.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Alderson? Thank you, Ms. Alderson.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard on this matter? Not, the hearing is closed.
Borough of Manhattan, calendar number 16, CD2, C140263, ZSM. A public hearing in the matter of an application for the grant of a special permit concerning 155 Mercer Street.
The first person to testify, Jerry Johnson, is that correct?
Sorry, my handwriting was a little messy this morning.
Not as messy as mine, believe me.
Good morning, Chairman Weisbrod and Commissioners. My name is Jerry Johnson with the firm of Fox Rothschild, representing the applicant RVA RT Owner LLC. The zoning lot is located on the west side of Mercer Street, midway between Houston and Prince Streets, in an M15A zoning district, which is also within the Soho Cast Iron Historic District. The zoning lot is currently developed with a 3-story mezzanine and cellar building, originally occupied as a fireman's hall, and most recently housed offices and studio space for the Joyce Theater. The building is currently vacant. It is proposed to renovate and restore this historic building for retail and office use Group 6. As you are aware, in an M15A zoning district, Use Group 6 use is not permitted below the floor level of the second story within a site with a lot area greater than 3,600 square feet. We have 4,600 square feet. Therefore, the application before you seeks a special permit under Section 74-711 to modify the use regulations to permit the proposed retail use on the ground and cellar floors in conjunction with the retail use permitted as of right on floors 2 and above. This building, the special permit will allow the restoration of this historic building. Application was made to the Landmarks Preservation Commission, and they approved a scope of work, and a certificate of appropriateness has been issued for the property. In addition, LPC has provided a report included in the application before you supporting the request for the use change on the site. The applicant has entered into an MOU with LPC regarding the restoration and has agreed to commit to an ongoing maintenance program memorialized in a restrictive declaration to be filed against the property should this application be approved. The retail use is consistent with the retail character of the area, will facilitate the restoration and renovation of this historic building. The retail use, since it's also the other finding as part of the special permit, is that it will be consistent and will not impact the other uses in the building. And since it's all one use, we make that finding as well. And we urge you to support the application.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions for Mr. Johnson? Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Sherida Paulson. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman
see you.
and Commissioners. Sherida Paulson, PKSB Architects. We're the architects for the restoration and modification of use of the building. We took this proposal to the Landmarks Commission, and they approved the restoration plan. The building, as you can see, was constructed in 1855 as a fire hall. It retained much of its historic character through the 1950s, and then the fire department stripped the facade of all of its decorative elements. It's been a very flat stucco facade with the historic pointing at the edges of the building, and the cast iron at the base is historic, although not original. Our proposal is to restore the upper stories with new stucco and precast elements, which the commission has approved, restore the cornice, repair and refurbish the cast iron elements at the base, do strategic maintenance on the sidewalls, which are set away 2 foot 6 inches from the adjacent buildings because it was a firehouse, and restore some of the rear and parapets to make this building usable and in first-class sound condition as required by the commission.
Thank you, Ms. Paulson. Questions, Ms. Paulson? Ms. Delos?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I'm just wondering if the photo on the right and the signage is indicative of what is anticipated and what Landmarks also approved.
Landmarks has approved signage to be installed as pin-mounted letters on the existing cast iron cornice. And the flag is, there's currently a pennant banner on the building. It's being relocated to the historic location, and signage would be permitted on the banner.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Paulson? Thank you, Ms. Paulson.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Terry Cude.
Hi, good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
I am Terry Coode, Vice Chair of Community Board 2 Manhattan's Land Use Committee on behalf of our committee chair, Toby Bergman. Although CB2 did not recommend denial of this application, we did raise serious concern about the change that is happening in Soho. Big retail is taking over. It started on Broadway, but it is spreading onto the narrow streets. The quality of the neighborhood as a place to live is being sucked out, and the charm of its historic nature eroded. Many of the cast iron and masonry gems are becoming glowing 24-hour branding opportunities. Teeming tourists dominate through the day, and massive retail deliveries and trash pickups disrupt the community throughout the night. If it's been a while since you visited Soho, we ask you to come and take a look. The situation is a bit topsy-turvy. Retail below the second level requires a special permit, but on the upper floors is as of right. So once the special permit is in place, the whole building is fair game. Add a special permit under 74-922, and there's another unique flagship opportunity. Each new application points to the results of the previous ones to prove it's in keeping with neighborhood character. But meanwhile, the special character of Soho is disappearing. 155 Mercer itself seems to be a worthy project. The building will be improved. The scale of the retail by itself is not a threat, but it is part of a disease that is doing real harm. We ask that the commission, while reviewing this application, begin to think about the loss to the city if Soho becomes, more than anything else, a shopping mall. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cude. Questions? I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Levin, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just, what would you suggest as an antidote to the challenges you see?
On this application, again, we
Understood.
registered no objection.
More broadly.
However, I think it's time for a look at the balance of retail, and while the 74-711 is really all about restoring the exterior of the building itself, of the structure itself, what we have is, as long as it fits those specific criteria, and we can't point to neighborhood character. And I think that the neighborhood character finding in all that you review is vital. And when the neighborhood character is eroded because, well, they did it 2 doors down because it fit the narrow 74-711 requirements, we do start losing the whole town. We could end up with Soho looking a lot like Times Square. And in some cases, when I was walking up Broadway last night and saw all those glowing billboards and the LED signage blasting out and the lights blasting out, I think that perhaps 74-711 needs to be looked at in a context rather than just individual piece by piece.
Thank you. Ms. Levin?
Yeah, my question was essentially the same, and wondering whether the community board is working on any kind of project that might give us guidance as to your thoughts on, as the community's thoughts on this. I think You know, we repeatedly get applications before us that pose exactly this issue, and we certainly see and experience the changes in the neighborhood and the times the disconnect between the zoning regulations and the realities of the marketplace and the neighborhood. So, you know, if it's something that needs a close look, it would be very powerful to us to have some direction from the community. And I know these things are hard to figure out, so.
We would be very welcoming of the opportunity to work with the Borough President's Office and with City Planning as well as Council to look at how we can take into account a totality of a neighborhood rather than just the details of each specific application. Thank you for that
Now,
thought.
that kind of direction is what community boards are meant to do and can sometimes do really well, so
We were on
good
that.
for you.
Thank you.
Yes, and I would say, on behalf of the department, we would welcome that, so please, thank you. Ms. Del Toro.
Hi, welcome. You know, having lived in not far from this building for many, many years, I mean, I have seen the changes in Soho from, and it's a constant change. So, you know, it's very difficult to see what's the ideal. I remember when it was just manufacturing, then the galleries came, then the galleries left, people moved in, and now a lot of retail. So it would be really good if the community board could work on a plan. I mean, I know Broadway is really very, very bad, especially on the weekends. You can barely walk there.
True.
So, and it's really dangerous crossing the street sometimes. So it would be really great if the community board work with the planning commission to come up with a study and a plan.
Thank you, Commissioner. We welcome that opportunity.
Thank you.
Mr. Dweck?
No,
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Hugh. Jesse Bodine? And that's Bodine, not Bodine.
It is Bodine, you got it right this time, thank you. Good morning, Chair Weisbrod and Commissioners. I am Jesse Bodine, Director of Community Development in the Land Use Division on behalf of Manhattan Borough President Gail A. Brewer to support the application by RVART Owner LLC for a special permit pursuant to Section 74-711 of the zoning resolution to modify use regulations to allow use group 6 on the ground floor and cellar of the existing vacant building at 155 Mercer Street, which sits within the Soho Cast Iron Historic District in an M15A zoning district in Community Board 2. The applicant proposes the rehabilitation and restoration of a historic Soho firehouse previously used as a dance studio and conversion of the space to a retail establishment. Since its inception, the building has housed a single tenant at any given time. The proposed retail establishment would continue as a single tenant, most likely as a flagship store for a high-end brand. To our knowledge, that no tenant has yet been identified. The area's land use has shifted from light manufacturing to a mixture of retail and office space, residential buildings, and community facilities. More recently, the area is evolving into a retail destination with larger national and international retail chains along Broadway and high-end retailers on the side streets. The conditions and findings have been met for the requested special permit. The applicant has presented a thorough restoration and maintenance plan for the ground floor streetscape and upper facade of the building. However, Borough President does share Community Board 2's concerns that the proposed project is just under the zoning square footage necessary to be considered a large-scale retail establishment, and has concerns as how the necessary loading of merchandise will impact the traffic and pedestrian flow on Mercer Street, which is a narrow side street. In addition, the proposed project lends itself to the trend of a transformation of the Soho neighborhood into a large-scale flagships locality, and has the potential to have a cumulative impact on transportation, character of the neighborhood, quality of life, and retail diversity. These concerns notwithstanding, in this case, Borough President believes the applicant met the conditions and findings for the special permit. In addition, the applicant is not expanding the footprint of the building, and a single tenancy is appropriate for this building. Therefore, in conclusion, the Borough President recommends the approval of this application. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Bodine. Questions? Thank you.
I will just add one thing. We are working on a small retail study on a broader sense for the borough, but I think this is something that we would like to pay attention to, obviously in this area and specifically.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard on this matter? If not, the hearing is closed. And
Anything else?
anything else before us, Madam Secretary?
No, Chairman Weisbrod.
I move to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Congratulations.